Hello, dear friends. Here we are. 11 days to go. Just 11 days to the 12th U.S. Spiritist Symposium. It is a joy, and more than a joy, it is an honor. It is a very beautiful opportunity. In this world nowadays, as we speak, there are refugees sleeping in camps or nowhere because sometimes to go from one place in destroyed homes to another, they have nowhere else to go. Just so we have an idea, the other day I was at Starbucks and I've got to know I was there, and then this lady approached me to ask about something, and she said something about her mother-in-law who was with her from Syria. She had her house destroyed. Luckily, she made it out. Her son lives in the United States and brought her here. She has cancer and she's devastated because she doesn't have her home. Though she's in a good country, but it's not the country that she expected to live in. And now she's facing a very difficult life. It's not easy to detach. It's not easy to transition from one state of life to another. It's not about the physical comfort of life. It's the emotional component of it. And that's why when we talk about the possibility of gathering together to do an event like this, in a country that no matter the circumstances are still allowing us conditions to do so, to talk about peace, to be together in a world that is, you know, convulsing with wars, with injustices. We really need to appreciate it and cherish it. And to talk to us about this and much more, we have three friends plus me. The first one. Check this out, okay? 1 second, friends. Check this out and you see who is here with us. Leo Vieira, how are you,
Hey,
Leo?
doing great, doing great. Thanks for having me here again. This is my second evening here. Happy to share this moment with everybody, this excitement to our biggest event ever thus far. There will be many more, I hope, and we
Yeah.
all hope, and it's going to happen. But this is our first in our nation, and I'm really excited to be here and share this moment with everybody, this countdown of light until we get to the big lighting day, enlightening answers to all of us. So glad to be here. Thank you, Vanessa.
No, thank you. And Leo, let's just measure together. Huh? As we're speaking here, we don't hear bombs. We don't see, we still have some form of safety, security, comfort. But as we browse the news, we know that there are millions of people in this world that are in different conditions. So, how do you feel about telling our brothers and sisters who are watching us on the importance of really cherishing the opportunity of coming to such an event and live that moment of peace while we can, because we don't know tomorrow, right?
Vanessa, we'll take it back to a conversation that I was having earlier today with our colleagues at work about the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth president of this country. Because the quiz, we start quizzing one another, who knew this, who knew that, and just to talk about Washington, John Adams, Jefferson, and all these people, and we start getting goosebumps, what they did, and we talk about Monticello and all these things. And I start thinking afterwards, with myself, I didn't disclose this in detail because you're at work, can't be talking about these things, about,
Mm-hmm.
how much, the excitement on the other side, helping us, guiding us to bring this enlightenment into our nation, to the whole country. It goes beyond our imagination what is happening on the other side. To just to go back to these men who fought so effortlessly to built this nation and to have, so we can have this now. And I would like to add one more thing. Not only this nation, but the example for many other nations, the example for many other constitutions, around the world that we have here. And I think it's just to be part of this and to help others to be part of this as well. It's just an amazing thing. So it goes without saying. It's beyond the imagination how much love, how much energy, the courage, all of this behind. It's a bomb of love.
Yes, it is.
It's a
And, and
bomb of
and
love.
and I agree with you. It is. And I agree with you on the fact that we cannot take for granted the efforts of the founding mothers and fathers of this country that are now ours, and how much the world awaits our own balancing in the United States to make it a healthier planet as well. Right, Leo? And we count, talking about this, we certainly count on the youth. And this program of the enlightening answers to our daily questions from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, April 21st, is a program that also opens opportunity for people to bring youth and children, and they have a very well prepared program for them. And you have your children, whom I saw from ground zero in the belly of Isabella and growing up. Now they're beautiful adolescent girls, and they have been coming to the symposium ever since, whenever possible. So, as a parent and as a spiritist, active spiritist worker in the fields of the United States, what would you tell those who are watching us if they have teenagers to bring the children to this event?
But as I think the main thing is the responsibility to this work of Christ that we have. That if we want this to go on, we want this to flourish, beyond ourselves, because we could not be here tomorrow. I think it's a responsibility for us to take our kids and not be afraid. I remember many parents when they come to the Center, for example, they're like, "Oh, should I bring my child? Should I do this?" Bring it. We have to bring them. They're gonna do kid stuff. They're gonna do things that they have to do. It's okay. We're not here to be bothered or anything. We want children to come and embrace as well. Make them part of it. And I think that this event is another example. Just going over some of the work, as you mentioned, some of the services that will be there for the kids, for them to learn, for them to be part of it. It's an amazing thing. And I think that I would call every single parent right now, please bring your children. Please bring your children. I demand, I command, if I could say that. They have to go.
Come
Okay, I'll
on.
come and pick them up for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
But it's
I agree
definitely
with
a
you.
must. Yes.
Yes, it is. So thank you, Leo, and stay there, please. But friends, back here, let me tell you something. You know, it's easier said than done, but tonight you're gonna hear from somebody or two people, the mother and the daughter, who have been there several times, and some of the times uh, they have been there together. So who are they? Let's check this out. There they are. Yes, Dulce's story and our dear Emily. They are here with us. Thank you so much. How are you, friend?
How are you, my darling?
Thank you so much for being with us. And I know, Dulce, you are such a diligent mom and loving mom, and you brought Emily here. She was supposed to be in bed, but today the mom said, not today, you'll be with us. So, congratulations, Emily, for being such an obedient and loving daughter and being with us. And we apologize, but you will sleep much better tonight. I am sure, because you received so much love from so many here that you sleep like a baby, though no longer a baby.
There's no apologize. I love talking to you guys.
So, thank you, Emily. So, Dulce,
Tell
you been to this journey in the Spiritist movement in the United States, and I guess the first symposium you were able to participate was the one in New York in 2008, right?
Yes, it was the second one that I was able to participate. Then I participated in Boston. Then I went to the Florida and Dell. Then I went to San Francisco, and I'm going now to Washington D.C.
Yay! That's awesome.
So it will be my fifth one. So in Washington D.C. And so it's so what I love about the symposium is that I always say it's not just the encounter with our friends that you have, you make new friends, and also it's the encounter with the spirit friends, if you know what I mean. For example, the symposium in New York, we didn't have yet the mentor for our spirit center. And when I saw the Prince Mulford book, when Carolina was just put on the table, you guys, the book had been arrived for Baltimore that you had encountered first, prior you went to do a presentation somewhere.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to buy this book. So I didn't have the money, as I think Felipe. I said, can you please put this book away, because I know this book is going to be sold out. Didn't have many, had few. So soon you step on the stage, you spoke a little bit, and you spoke about the book. So everybody left to buy the book. So like I said, we have this affinity, this connection, also for the spirit realm who goes to the symposium to give us the support, and you feel that presence is so live next to us. And it's beautiful. It's everybody should go, because the atmosphere is so friendly. It's everything. The work for the children. My children had been, and when you go this time, they went when they were little. Marina was tiny. She probably was 9, and Emily was probably 6. And now they go 17 and 14. So it's so important to bring your children for this event. For me, for example, who lives in Long Island, our spirit center is very isolated, so we don't have many connections from all the spirit center like children's. So in this event, we have the opportunity to meet all the children. The children meet other children. They don't feel so, just myself. Our spiritist in here, And one time Marina told me, in my school, I have 2,250 children. So already we make history, because it's just 2 spiritists, myself and Emily.
So let me ask Emily then. If you said that, Emily, you've been like, daily since you were born into this, your mom telling you about Spiritism and coming to events here and there and participating. And I know the last time you participated, you sang beautifully, and that's why we have here Adilson asking the question, but we won't say anything yet. But Emily, would you like to share something about how you feel about Spiritism?
Spiritism is not like any religion that my friends talk about. Spiritism is much more accepting than most, and it's very lenient. It's very like Zen. It's very like, it's a very good religion, and it's not strict. Like, you get to make friends and you get to talk to anybody. Like, everybody's always there. It's not a harmful environment. There's no one to judge. Like, everybody loves everyone. They just want to learn about Spiritism.
Oh, wow. I'm not gonna cry, but I feel you. And, let me bring Leo back here, because as Emily is mentioning this, I know his daughters too, right, Leo? I know your daughters, they they also are so sweet, and every time I see them in the Spiritist environment, whether it's one talk to larger events, they're always very joyful. They feel comfortable. Is that right?
They are. They feel very comfortable, feel very welcome. At first, is that kids and in the new environment, right? When they're going to a place like a large event or something, but then they just get together, talk to everyone. I think that idea that Emily just brought of being open and being accepting is the key feeling for the kids to feel safe, right? To
Yes.
expand their thoughts when they're able to say something and they feel that they're accepted, even though it may be different, a different idea, different perspective. That is the key thing to create this loving and I would say very strong relationship with one another and respectful. Yes.
Exactly, and respectful,
Mhm.
right? So, yeah, so then, Emily, you are gonna come to DC together with your sister Marina. Can you share with us? I know it's just out of nowhere. I'm asking you. We didn't plan this out, but can you tell us a little bit how you feel in that regard? What are your expectations this year? We have enlightening answers to our daily questions. Our symposium is going to address family, loss of loved one, human equality, peacemaking skills, mental health, wellness, sexuality, and education for children and youth. What are your possible expectations?
I'm excited to go because I think it's really important for me to go because recently, um, my parents got divorced, so
Oh,
it's like it's good to know like I'm in a place with people I love. It'll just make me happier than to learn about things and to be happier and not be sad.
yeah, don't be sad because what is important is the eternal love that connects you to your father, your mother, and the bond between them is not over. You know, it's beyond the paper. Okay, but count on our love because we've seen you from when you were little, and we appreciate your mom and your dad, and many of us will be there for you too. We'll give you lots of hugs there and send lots of prayers because this is a transition that you can do it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing this, Emily. Thank you so much. Right, Dulcie. It's
Yeah.
not easy as a mom either, right? To
No,
hear.
no. It's every time that we need to make decisions in our lives, we have always, to think the pros and cons, and we always think the most about our children, but sometimes things are inevitably, and you have to do it.
So I'm bringing here some flowers to Emily to give to you. Receive these flowers, okay, Emily, and count on us because we're one big family. And I say this really believing in it. When I decided to stay in the United States and leave the blood family in Brazil, I did it without a question that it was the right decision because family is beyond what the blood ties are. And when we open our hearts to the true family, the spiritual family, the universal family, we can, feel fulfilled and will never feel empty. So you can count on us, right? Leo is here with us. I'm gonna bring him back. So if you wanna share some words, he can share it because you have, in this case, right, Leo, you have parents who divorced as well, and here you are up and running. You wanna share a word?
Uh, think of ourselves 500, 1,000 years from now. That's whenever I get
When
upset with
we're
something,
that old.
whenever I get upset with something that it really, really, really bothers me and it really puts me in a tough situation, that it kind of like, our hearts are so tight and everything. Think of ourselves 500 years from now, 1,000 years from now. It may seem far right now, but if you do that, I guarantee you, you will start like releasing any tension, and it's because look, everything's gonna be all right. We got to take baby steps, yes, but everything's going to be okay. One day in our this evolutionary path, as Vanessa said, our ties, it goes beyond the paper, it goes beyond of age, sex, all the difference that we see right now in our lives. And I think if we take it, if we put ourselves forth and we give this big leap, not leaving ourselves behind, but we'll see that things will be okay, and we are all in this evolutionary path. But we have events like this, as you said yourself. We have one another to tighten ourselves up and get ourselves there. And I think that to me is what gives me comfort. My parents as well, they divorced when I was very little. I had to cope with. I love both of them without any difference here. This is my father, that is my mother, and no problem whatsoever. I look back and say, it is what it is. This is their decision, and we respect. I learn from it. I try to teach others with it, and I think this is what we can live one another. And again, this event is perhaps some of the answers that we want about this. It will be there as well. Share this with others to value what we have. Despite if they're together or not, let's value what we have in our hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
But thank you, Emily, for sharing your feelings. And since I cannot be there to give you a hug, I'm gonna sing just a tiny
Hug,
little thing. A hug, right? Yay, a hug.
hug.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Because I don't have your voice, but I have the feelings. Never forget, Emily, you are a child of God. You are a child of God, and you reincarnated to learn to do good.
Yeah.
And we wait for you to do much good, Emily. You and Marina, okay? Your generation is awaited with all of our hearts because we need the youthful years to change, right? Carol Correa is also hugging Nora, Alan Cortes, many friends, Rita de Cássia, many friends are here with us. And talking about this good friends, in this message, talking about spreading the good, Emmanuel through Chico Xavier says to us, do not be overcome by evil. He's quoting from the Bible. But overcome evil with good. Paul to the Romans, chapter 12 and verse 21. He says to us, when facing evil, all the elements of nature do all they can to restore harmony and ensure the victory of the good. And he comes when a storm seems to have destroyed the landscape. The divine forces of life come stronger together to restore it. The sun shines on the sloth, healing the wounds of the soil. The wind caresses the grove, drawing out the branches. The song of the birds replaces the voice of the thunder. And he goes on and on talking about the healing of nature. In view of this, why do we harbor the bile and bitterness of evil in our hearts? Let us learn to cope with adversity, educating its energies to improve our lives. Ignorance is merely a long night that eventually gives way to the sun of wisdom. Use the treasure of your love in all directions and spread the good wherever you go. Even when deluged with silt, the spring does not give up. It just receives it and transforms it into blessings as it gently and humbly flows along to everyone's benefit. So, my dear friends, we're being called to blossom, right? We're
Yes.
called, here is Angie saying hi to Dulce, Marina, and also to Emily. And Emily, I've heard
Marina is
All
over
the
Andy's house.
right?
Marina is over Andy's house for vacation.
Oh, is that where she is? Oh, is
Yeah.
that why she's saying?
Ah, look at
Who
that.
is who is this Marina? Oh my
It's
gosh!
not Marina.
Oh
It's
my!
Marina's friends. She
Oh
also
my!
brought a friend to Andy's house.
We
Ah,
are gonna go to her house for vacation now, Angie.
but we've heard that you sing the Ave Maria.
Yeah.
And she will sing for us.
Do you think you could do that, please? Yes?
Let
Yeah.
me take the
Great.
dog out.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here is this. Let's make this our prayer, okay? And as soon as Marina is done with the singing of the Ave Maria, I'll ask Leo just to wrap up with a few words of prayer, okay, Leo?
We'll do. Thank you.
I'm just getting lyrics.
Sure.
You're gonna put it in music?
No. Maybe I should.
Meanwhile, I want to remind you, just go to spiritisymposium.org. The registration is only $30 for adults and 10 for children and youth. It's unbelievable because that doesn't happen anywhere in the world. There was a time, I want to share this with everybody. Remember, and I think Leo remembers that, when we used to ask ourselves, should we charge or not charge? Because in the American culture, if you don't charge very expensively, people think that it's not worthwhile. You know what? We're spiritists. And that's not the point. The point is to welcome everyone irrespective. And this is just a symbolic way of helping also the organization defray the costs, but mostly it's a charitable effort that is being done to make it all available, right?
Sure.
Okay, so here we have Emily ready for everyone. So let us focus our hearts in the beautiful heart of the Holy Mother, Mother Mary, and feel it.
we then would like to invite one another to finalize this beautiful moment that we had together. And give ourselves a moment to appreciate life, to appreciate one another, to appreciate the opportunity of once more being together, not only this evening, in this beautiful countdown of love to the day of our beautiful event, but the beauty that also we will be together on the 21st and for the rest of our lives with this ideal, this science in our heart, reminding us every single day of our lives that we are eternal, that we are daughters and sons of God, co-creators in this universe, allowing us to expand from the chains of ignorance, to break the doubts within ourselves and become light, enlightening one another, fostering love, progress, and courage in our hearts. This way, we wish that each one of us get together again during our hours of sleep to prepare our days tomorrow, to prepare our nation from now on to be the example of love that this planet deserves. We thank you, Master Jesus, dear Mother, Father God, and so be it.
So thank you so much, Emily. Thank you. We
Beautiful.
all wait to see you there and give you a view of loving
Can she
God.
sing? Can she sing again?
Let's tell the committee. Make Emily sing again.
Yes,
Yay. Thank you,
yes, yes,
Dulcie.
yes.
Our hats to you as a loving mother too. Big hug to
Yes.
Marina. And Leo, we're
Thank
speechless.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Vanessa.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for everyone, friends, thank you for being with us. Thank you for the opportunity of sharing this. And, if you're still contemplating, should I stay or should I go? I think probably by now you made your mind. You made up your mind. So come to DC because this is just a little bit of the much that you're going to encounter.
Yes.
Love is in the air. Thank you, friends, and until tomorrow for another day at the
Yes.
countdown of the 12.
Come to Washington DC.
Hey,
Yay! Come
everyone.
with us. Thank you, friends.
Thank
Tomorrow.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.